You, my friend, better have read Skyward, Starsight, and Sunreach before you clicked on this video, because this is spoiler filled. If you haven't, then you are a psycho who doesn't care about spoilers at all, or you just want to support my channel, in which case, thank you very much, you're amazing. But otherwise, pop off. This is a spoiler discussion. Yep, this is a spoiler-filled review. About 10 minutes ago, I did a spoiler-free review for Sunreach, so please go and watch that if you haven't. I know I probably just scared everyone off, but if you're still here and you haven't read Sunreach, I would recommend you go and watch that video first. So the first thing that I want to mention when talking about Sunreach is FM herself. Because yes, I read the first two books an age ago, but I remember very little about her. In fact, when I first started this book and I saw the word F and another initial, I just assumed it was Mbot that this book was from, because it was saying, oh, when I lived in the caverns, and I was thinking, oh yeah, Mbot lived in a cavern, we're following a robot. But then it started talking about parents and about all sorts of things that made me think maybe this isn't from a robot's perspective. And yeah, I was very silly to think that it was, because this is from Freya Martin's perspective. I'm assuming blonde by all the fan art, the blonde member of Skyward Flight, and one of the main predominant characters in Skyward Flight, who is now one of my favourites after this novella. So a character that I did not remember really that much at all is now one of my faves, although the only characters that I really recalled were Spencer, Rig, Jorgen, and Kimberlin. So it's not like she's the only one. But yes, I greatly enjoyed her part in this book. Her desire to see things through in a moral way, or at least what she perceives to be a moral way, by helping the slugs, really pays off in the end when her compassion towards the slugs ends up being the key to saving everyone and completing the mission at the same time, which is grand. So I really enjoyed her character, and her relationship with Rig was really sweet. You know, you could see it coming from a mile away, and it was very predictable. Every single story beat in relation to Rig, the whole love story, completely predictable, did not make it any less entertaining to read though. I'm a sucker for well-told, if cheesy, teen romances, and this did not let me down. How they're both really awkward about each other, how she's completely oblivious to the fact that he likes her, despite the fact that he's kind of dismissive to her awkwardly for the first half of the novella, or first third, and she just thinks, oh, that's because he likes Spencer, which she admits is quite silly later on, was really sweet. And yeah, I just found it a sweet little subplot. Really, it was more than a subplot, but sub kind of main plot of the novella. I greatly enjoyed that, and their little relationship that goes along throughout is emblematic of her change of heart into really taking hold of what she has. Unlike other people would, I presume, she doesn't see the downfall of humanity as I'm going to just seize the day because nothing matters. She sees it more as, I have a task to do to save everyone. I need to do that task and not really get emotionally attached to anyone in case I die or in case they die. Which she does change by the end of the book, and she says, well, stuff it. I need to actually live. Which I implore, and it's a good message, because sometimes we forget you do need to live. Sometimes you just need to take the risk to go out there and do things that make you nervous, which you could see this made her nervous. A lot of the reason why she didn't do it was because she was really awkward around him, because she liked him back. And she takes a risk in the end. It's typical romance YA stuff. I'm a sucker for it. In terms of the other main plot of this book, it's the slug stuff. I love the slug stuff, man. It's fun. From the slugs imitating them, to them teleporting around and really trying to work out what's going on, to Jorgen just not being impressed. The slug stuff I found was way more enjoyable than I thought it would be. When I realized that this book was really going to be just tinkering around and experimenting on slugs, which sounds like a pretty awful and honestly cruel premise, I thought this is going to be a bore. But no, this is Sanderson, and I now have faith in JANCI Patterson for the rest of the novellas because she proved herself to be a very entertaining writer throughout this whole thing. And the slug stuff was really fun. It was entertaining, it was funny, it added to all the characters as they tried to figure it out and their personalities clashed. It also really built on the world building because it allowed our characters, our side characters, to learn as much as Spencer did on her travels during book 2 without Spencer coming back in book 3 and telling them everything, and there has to be a big lore drop that we already know, a exposition scene. Instead, you learn about it with the side characters, which is a really great idea for a novella. And you actually learn more than Spencer does in some ways, so it does actually enhance the entire Skyward universe rather than just be just something there, which was great, especially towards the end and towards the big fight with Jorgen teleporting, and also the shield that was hinted at in the previous books. I think it was book 2 it was hinted at, perhaps, I don't quite recall, but the massive platform shield that expanded, that was really cool. That was talked about earlier. I really enjoyed that for a lot of reasons, in that it allowed them to then have an excuse to hyper jump and then show everyone what hyper jumping actually is. So that was really fun. I also greatly enjoyed seeing Alanik, the alien that Spencer bumps into then pretends to be in the beginning of Starsight. We get to see a bit of her and her personality. She's very brash, she's very aggressive, and by the end of the book we get to assume that she's wrong, that not everyone's out to kill you. But it was nice that that tied in, because it made the book, it gave it more importance, because this was a character that I felt like we should have gotten to know in Starsight, but we didn't. So the fact that this book dealt with what happened to her, and we got to learn a little bit about her, gives this novella even more worth as a entry in the Skyward verse. Other than that, I don't really have anything to say, except I want more slugs, I want more FM, and I really hope the next novellas build on this with Jorgen and M-Bot's perspective. I really hope that they are as good as this one. Probably, honestly, they're going to be better, because this one was held back by the fact that it was very much just the characters talking to each other and just setting up a lot of stuff that they needed to get done for more stories. But in that sense, it's terrific. I alluded to earlier its flaws in my other video are its YA symptoms, the fact that some of it's quite simple, the romance is quite cheesy, and the characters can be at times one-dimensional. But that is just what you have to take with this kind of story. It is a YA story, and if you enjoyed the Skyward books, you'll enjoy this, and I really did. I want you guys to let me know what you thought of Sunreach down in the comments below. I think it's being liked by Skyward fans quite a bit. I don't know for sure, but it has a 4 point something rating on Goodreads, I believe, and Amazon. So I think the love is going around Sunreach, and I'm all for it. It's terrific. Again, let me know. But with that all being said, my name is Jasper. This has been the Legends of Jasper channel. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. And also comment. comment whatever you want. Say, how you going, Jasper? Or maybe comment and ask me a question. Ask me a question, as Catherine Tate would say. What else? What else can you do in the comments? You can start a debate. No, don't. Actually, I don't mind debates as long as they don't get too rowdy. Yeah, start a debate. Alright, that's me signing off. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.